Alright, so I think it's 23. I really hate this, by the way. That I can't go up.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah. You can't figure out. You want to go from 33 to 37, so it's just...
Yeah, okay, this is the one.
Oh my god! That's such a good one.
This is the longest snake in the game, isn't it?
I think it is, well, I think one of the star levels actually is, but this is up there for longest snake in the game.
Yeah.
I think
it's definitely long. There's one with fruit that is just like going in a circle that is at the beginning of the game that's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And
okay. So yeah, this was definitely one of the hardest stages for me. So the first thing I usually do, I don't like get up close and count stuff because basically what I find is easier to do is to just try it instead of counting, because I'm likely to come across incidental properties of a solution in the process of trying it out.
Right.
Like, even if I know a solution is wrong, like I'm positive it's not going to work, I try it anyway because I could have miscounted something. I could have, missed a property or something like that.
You want to be sure.
So, yeah. So I generally don't like stop to count anything. So the first thing you notice here is that the stage is very clearly divided into two parts, and there's only the one tile wide gap to get between it, the parts, and so we're on the top and we need to get to the bottom, so we need to move this orange block out of the way. So that pretty much only gives us one possible first move, which is
You're already funneled there without
right.
having to find a funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the first move is you obviously just need to move this out of the way, and now orange will succumb to gravity or can be moved by the Snakebird. So I'm just going to go about doing the first thing I did the first time I played it, which was, and I know this obviously doesn't work, is to let it drop. And if you let it drop, it blocks it. So
My heart sank the first time that happened.
yeah, so that definitely doesn't work. So the next thing I tried, so we're working from this position here. So the next thing I said was, okay, I can move it up two, and now it's free to move again, move it over one, and there we go. I solved the puzzle. It's out of my way now. Oh, god damn it.
Not anymore.
I moved the snake in a really stupid way there. That's long snakes for you. So, then I come down here, and there's no way in hell I can do this. There's only one support down here, and it's that block over to the right, this block here. And so I need to be able to get up that shaft to get to the portal, so there's no way I can do it from there.
Actually, if you go back to that, right there, above the spike, you can notice there is a one block gap.
Above, right?
Yeah.
So,
That didn't even hit me the first time I played this, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the background.
Yeah, so you might notice that, or in my case, I just realized at this point, okay, well, it's impossible to do it by letting the block fall first, and it's impossible to do it without letting the block fall. So naturally, I must need to go inside the block on my way down. I need the block to go down with me, and so that's going to be the hard part to figure out. So, all right, so we need to get the block at least this high to move it. Can we move it right? Doesn't look like it. Looks like any possible scenario, moving the block right, just gets it trapped under the yellow block.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to move it any further right. There's no way to move it up.
Nope.
So I don't think we can do anything with this scenario. So we rule that out. So we come back here. And now, actually, a mistake I just made was I got close to it, then went up, then over. And when I do that, basically it's stuck over because my body is holding it up at this point. So the way that the snake body holds up the thing is going to be pretty fundamental to how this puzzle is solved.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe I just solved it. No, I didn't. Okay, thank God. I thought I just accidentally did it without paying attention.
Right.
If you could just pinch off that tail, that'd be great.
Yeah. So the problem I ran into there is that I can only move, once I'm inside the block, I can only move 2 spaces. So I can't, it's going to get jammed on me. So I can't go inside it. I need it to be sitting on top of me. And it needs to fall in after me, basically. So to do that, my first thinking is we just need to get it out of the hole entirely. So we go back one more step back to here. And then, so why I'm doing this is that I know I need to move the block left. So if I can only move it up this far, I need to leave this little gap under my bird so that I can move it left. By the way, I'm explaining all this in great detail, and none of this is at all what makes the puzzle difficult or what I've ever had trouble with. I'm just talking a lot at this point because I actually know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. But what I like is you're actually demonstrating all the ways that the Snakebird's level counters, really straightforward solutions. Like, oh, I just have to move it here. Nope, because the level's set up in such a way that you need that thing on the bottom.
Yeah, it seems like there are a million different potential solutions and then a spike at each one except for one of them.
Right. So, I mean, that does fit very well with the way that I play the game. So my thinking now is, okay, I need to lift this thing up in the air. I need to get under it because it needs to fall on top of me. So I immediately do what I've got here, and okay, it's up in the air, and I am not long enough to get under it, but I do have enough length to do it. I just didn't move in the right. No, actually, I don't think I do. Because I need to leave at least this gap because it's, no, do I? No, I don't need to leave that gap. So instead of going up there, let's go up here. Enter the block, lift it up to, go back right, down. Okay, now we're under it. So this seems like progress. Now it's on top of my body, which is where I want it to be, and I can cycle around like this. So now I can lift it even higher. So let's see what happens if I do that. I believe what's going to happen is I'm going to run out of length, it's going to follow the ground, and we're going to end up where we started, which is exactly what happened. So that doesn't do any good. So lifting it higher is probably not going to be the way to solve this. Although what I really want to do is lift it one more. Let's see. Okay. Do this. So I use backspace a lot instead of counting out spaces. So you see, like, what I want to do is line it up like that. And so
you want it over the gap so that it falls and helps you.
Right. And so instead of counting where I need to turn, I just go an arbitrary distance, say, okay, whoops, that was too far. I back out. And I think this was the right one. Okay. So that's no good because we're back to that problem. So we probably can't push it by the bottom. We probably need to, let's see. What if we try, okay. You moved it right further. That probably did not, or left further. That probably does nothing for us.
So at this, I'm wondering why you chose to move it left.
Why I chose to move it?
Because he ruled out earlier that there was no, if he moved it right, it would be stuck.
So, yeah, but you want it to fall in that gap, so why would you move it out of the gap?
So
okay, I remember the
go
answer.
back. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure I know the answer off the top of my head. Let's just go back to the beginning. Okay. Oh, that's the reason. Because to lift it up high enough, you have to use the full length of the snakebird inside of it. So there's no way to get it any higher right now. Like, I have to get the snakebird out of it and back into it to lift it up higher from here.
And that requires moving it left?
Well, how else would I get the snakebird out of it without dropping it?
You were doing it over the solid ground, just one tile to the left.
But it didn't start at this level there. It started up here. So it was already that high.
So you had a formation in which you were successfully raising the platform up. You were just doing it one tile to the left of where you had it. And I was wondering why.
Because I can't do it here. So I need to raise it up higher, I need to enter from this level and move right and then up.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to enter from directly below the.
Oh, I see. So your argument is that the block needs to start higher, and the only way to do that is by placing it on the ground.
Yep.
Right. The block needs to be higher without the bird inside of it, because the bird needs to be out of it. The bird needs to be entirely out of it to be able to raise it.
Yeah. That's the one of the interesting properties that's created because of the tethered blocks, is that it limits how much you can push it before Snakebird's own body obstructs the other end.
Okay. So I want my head to be on the left of it. So I kind of want to be, like, I'm inclined to move it one more block left so that I can have my head pushing it left while my tail goes out of it. So let's see if I can find a way to get that to work. I want my tail inside of it. Okay, so this is close. Not quite what I need. So I'm pretty sure that the getting it on top of me was the way that I spent a really long time not solving the puzzle. I remember going through just about all of these permutations. Okay, so I'm where I said I wanted to be, to the left of it. Is that where I said I wanted to be? I don't even remember at this point if I was trying to get to the left of it or to the right of it. No, this is a situation I was in before. So what's happening here is because there are so many moves that the long snake can take that I'm reaching the same choke points through completely different series of maneuvers. And so basically experiencing why you can't just brute force this game.
Yeah.
There's a
Because
yeah.
I find that Snakebird in sections like this, which is what makes me reconsider my approach, is that it can often have you in loops.
yeah, I think that's
What do you
kind of
mean?
what.
What do you mean by loops?
Because of the way, or just because of the rules of the game and the way Snakebird is structured, when I see a situation, like this, I basically start reconsidering my approach, because as yourself just tried out there, he kept moving in a bunch of different ways, but then started ending up in the same position. And that...
I thought you meant like the snake would be in a loop.
Oh,
like a shape.
Well, it's funny because it's because of his shape that you can end up in this looping thing of trying different variations of the same thing, but still ending up in the same spot. And that's when I start having to reconsider my approach, and that's what helped me get across this level, because I was in this similar situation he was in.
This looks close to something that I want, because I have 6 tiles over here, I have tiles over here that are supported by this yellow block, and the orange block could theoretically sit on here while I go down under.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I think so the way I did that was, let's see if I can do that with the orange block moved one left of where it is right now.
You mean one right?
One right, yeah. So basically, it doesn't look like that's going to work, because now I'm out of room.
Well, you could push up, right?
No, he can't. His bottom was there. See?
No.
Oh no! Huh? That's crazy.
So let's see if I go up higher.
Oh, there's the dynamic of gravity working against you.
Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, that's what Isaac was bound with. It's the binding of Isaac.
I can't go up because then it won't sit on me anymore. So what about...
Oh,
that's close.
That's so startlingly close. So when you push it to the right and your head is coming from below, you're like committed to going up. Sorry, did that make any sense?
No, I'm sorry. I don't. Is there a position from which you're...
When you were
referencing?
forward and your head was under or like next to the block.
Okay, so if I do this?
To the left one.
Okay.
So now if you push it, you're committed to having to like go up and around yourself, and you can't go down from here basically because of your prior decisions.
Right. Well, the block's not high enough anyway right now. I can't get under it even if I wanted to. It needs to go up one more tile.
Yeah. So right now,
So what if I kill? No, I can't do that, right? That doesn't work.
That looked really close.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Oh. It's so cool.
This is really close.
Yeah.
This is it. No.
Damn. It's like, you need to...
Is it though?
Oh my god. Yeah. So right now, the major shift in your strategy was utilizing that yellow block so that Snakebird can stay up in the air long enough for him to get back on the ground again.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to go with now. So is there a way?
Why did you move up after the yellow block?
Why did I
because
move
you needed to
up?
push it. Or wait, no, you can just go one tile up and then. So when you loop around, why do you go up?
So from here?
Yeah.
So
What if you
why
just
do
go
I-
one tile up?
So you're saying why don't I just do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens there is that I'm too long to get around. So the reason I decided to go up here was that I wanted to kill some length.
Oh.
So I wanted to go up, but then I need to keep flat so that I can actually move it left. So, okay,
Oh man.
that's not going to do anything. That's way too weird a position.
That's not anything anyone says about Snakebird. Everything's a weird position.
I don't think there's any way for me to solve it from here. I think it's just going to keep falling like that. So
Sometimes one of the things that I do is to reset the puzzle. I don't know if that'd help you in this instance.
yeah, I do the same thing, but I'm not quite convinced I've exhausted the possibilities here.
It's so hard to imagine everything you could do with such a friggin' long bird.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is part of the part of the difficulty of this challenge is because of the length of the bird, because this puzzle would actually be easier if the Snakebird was shorter.
Well, except for the fact that he wouldn't get past the spikes at the bottom.
Yeah, except for that, because the level because of that long tower of spikes they put right next to the portal. That's how they forced it. So you need a long Snakebird for this level.
Okay, so this might be something I've done before in backwards progress, but since that doesn't seem to be working, I'm going to try lifting it up before I move over there. Let's see if I can get...
Oh, this looks...
as much length. No, then I drop it. I lift it from here.
So you go from that position.
From
have the Snakebird go down and then So do you see at the top right where you're doing a staircase? Why don't you leave an opening there for the instead of going left and up, go up and then left.
Okay. So like this.
Oh, but then you drop it.
Right. The problem is that it's not that I can't move it left. It's that I'm too short to do it like this. So I'm not sure it's possible to hold it up from here and also move it left. Because this is basically there's no waste in the snake here. Like, I need every block here is serving some purpose. I need these 6 here to hold it up. I need that to hold over there. Okay. Let's try doing this. Now that gets us into the same exact scenario. Doesn't matter whether we move
one
it
thing I've
one or
noticed
two.
is that you always go through the tether. You always come out on the opposite side.
Yeah, that is the trick to this one, isn't it? It's that you do like this. Some variation of that. Not quite that.
Yeah, ooh, that's nice. So we already know that he needs to be under the block. Have the block, I'm sorry, on top of him so that when he goes through, it drops down so that he can make his way to the portal.
Yeah.
So the trick here, yeah, is
No, wait. Now I'm back where it was. Wait, what if I move up one more? No, that kills 2 length. Oh, wait, is this it? Tell me this
It's
is
a
it.
race.
Oh,
Yeah, I did it.
you got it.
All right. So that's it. So let's go back and see exactly what led to that.
So
Oh my god. I'm so scared. You're gonna undo it and then.
okay,
Yeah,
no,
that's definitely going to happen.
I'm gonna remember.
But I'm
the
trying
shape.
to remember the shape that it's in right now.
Okay, it is a.
It's kind of like a reverse question mark.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, so how did I get there? Let's see all the way back from how So I got the block really high just by, this was when I was screwing around. So this is actually going to go back really far. But basically I got to a point where I was looping around it like freely because I'm like 1 away from my tail.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just hold it in this position here. And so I've got it up there.
And you did need to use the yellow block like you were thinking.
Right. And then, so with it up there, I went over. Is that what I did? I went over to the yellow block so that I would basically like planting an anchor by moving over the yellow block.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm anchoring myself there. I still got like a ton of snake left holding up the block over here. Like it's going to take another 5 moves before we start. Well, 7 until it drops entirely, but 5 until it moves at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got yourself anchored.
Yeah. And if you look at the distance.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you're right.
And not only that, but if you look at the distance between his head and from his tail, it's 3 blocks. So that's how you know he can circle around in that question mark shape without falling.
Okay.
Because it's such a short distance.
So we're anchored there. And then if I just go straight over, because I want to get there as quickly as possible, then what happened was I got to this situation that I kept getting stuck in. So I looped around too quickly in this situation, and now I'm stuck. So instead of only going up the necessary amount, I went up 1 extra to basically burn length. And because I'm anchored, so recently, I have a lot of leeway. I basically have all the length except for 3. I need these 3 to stay here for the block to be able to stay up. So I go up to burn the extra length. I go down to what I was doing before.
So that's tricky because you need you need just enough to keep it up while giving yourself room. It seems like there's only a 1 block window there.
Yeah. Basically, it's entirely dependent on the exact length of the snake, how that ends up working out. If the snake is 1 shorter, let's see, what would happen if the snake was 1 shorter and we did this? Then I'd be able to move down here. Yeah,
could you?
Yeah, you can move where your tail is.
Oh, okay.
So then I'd be able to cycle around.
Wait, no, then four snakes run into that problem a lot That would trivialize a lot of four-snake puzzles if you could move where your tail is.
Pretty sure you can move where your tail is with this guy, but I'll test it in a second. Let's just finish it. Okay, so we go up the extra one, move it over, and then we're basically, in a race. And that's where it comes into play that we had lifted it up this high in the first place, because it needed to be enough that it ended in like a square like this. So
the slack you gave yourself was also the extra room you needed under the block. That's crazy.
So now we're under it. From here, solving the puzzle is pretty trivial because, like we saw with stage 17, there's just going to be a really limited number of possibilities here. I'm sure I'll die at least once before I get it, but let's get the thing down. Oops. Okay, so this is where there's just lots of backspacing.
So you circle up on the top. That happens.
Let's see. This is a place where it actually might be quicker to count, but I'm just not going to. I don't care enough to. There we go.
Woo.
Oh, we've got it resting where there was nothing before, where we needed the empty space at the beginning of the level. And once it's there, there's pretty much only one path to take. I mean, there is literally only one path.
Yep. Voila.
Exit.
And that's how you get it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was a lot of properties we took there, or took note of there, for what makes this level so complicated. And all of them have to do with the length of the bird and having that block there so that you can, what Greg described earlier, have you sort of fall down to get under, but still having a piece of yourself at the top so it doesn't go down before your head can get there underneath it. And yeah, that's the major trick. And of course, getting yourself shaped in just the right way, because you need to make a reverse question mark, which yourself stumbled upon through experimentation.
It's a little frustrating that the solution came about as the product of the part where I was like, now I'm screwing around because I don't care anymore.
Yeah. And then once you saw something that looked enough right, then your mind took over and say, okay, then you go back into sort of systematic mode.
Right.
So it's a way to, when you were actively thinking about how to solve it, you were kind of stuck in a rut, and abandoning that mindset was a way to observe possibilities that you wouldn't consciously think of.
Yeah. And if I could summarize what he was probably thinking is, maybe if I do enough of the non-obvious things, which is how a lot of puzzle games kind of make their challenge from having solutions that are non-obvious, he'll stumble upon enough on the tree that is the right enough direction that he can get a feel for the rest of it.
Yeah, that's why I find doing some screwing around is useful, and that also goes back to what I was saying about at the beginning about sometimes doing solutions that look obviously wrong, because sometimes it's the one that looks obviously wrong that actually is somehow set up with a weird property to be the solution that you wouldn't have noticed otherwise.
Right.